Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to explain you how to solve puzzles and tactics correctly. And why is that important to solve puzzles? Because during the game it helps you to see a lot of tactical possibilities and it also trains good thinking habits. So today you will learn how to benefit from that very common exercise the most. But before we'll go into the video, I just want to invite you to my website, stopmakingblunders.mattbobula.com. You can get completely for free an ebook with that you will find a lot of exercises how to make less blunders. So at the beginning, let's start with some theory. So you need to know that the method that I'm going to explain you, it has got 4 steps. In the step 1, you have to realize what's going on the board. You have to take a quick look at the material. You have to check kings, pawns, and pieces. You just need to see what is going on the board. You see that puzzle for the first time. In the second step, you need to focus on recognizing tactical motives and also the most popular moves, which are checks, captures, and threats. Because you need to know that usually checks, captures, or threats, this is gonna be the first move that you have to find. And also, if you want to learn more about tactical motives, I recommend you to check my another video that is called 1 Method to Always See Tactics During the Game. In the third step, you have to calculate the full solution. And it's not enough to say, let's say, bishop to c4. You have to give the whole variation. You have to analyze all opponent options, and it has to be very clear solution until the end. Some people prefers even to write it down. And by the way, if you want to learn more about that, how to calculate properly, I have got another video about it, which is called How to Calculate Better in Chess. And that was step number 3. Now, final step, step number 4, you have to name the tactics. Before you play it on your computer, it's a good idea to name it what just happened on the board. And after such a process, you will train your brain for the good habits of thinking, and also you will be aware what just happened, what that puzzle was about. So let me demonstrate you how that process works on some practical examples. And all of those positions, they come from chess.com puzzles. Okay, so step 1, check what's going on the board. So let's just take a look. Material, black is up 1 point, and you can see that black has got a rook and white has got several pawns, 1, 2, 3, 4 pawns. So it's +1, but it's a rook for pawns. King's positions, both kings are very exposed, both kings are in the middle of the board with no protection. Third thing was pawn structure. So you can see that, of course, there are like some weaknesses, like you can see this is a backwards pawn, but it's not that important at the moment. 2 most important elements that I see in the pawn structure are those 2 extremely dangerous pass pawns that can be promoted in the next move. Okay, and when it comes to pieces activity, you can see that queens are pretty active and bishops are opposite colors. By the way, there is such a principle that if the opposite color bishops in the middle game, it's a good idea to attack the king. So most likely we're going to attack white's king that is exposed. Okay, so that was first thing. Now we have to analyze tactical motives and checks, captures, threats. So first of all, you can see king is exposed. This is first tactical motive, completely exposed king. Another tactical motive is that there is a potential promotion. This is good for white, so we have to pay attention to this. And this is, I think, everything that I see here. Checks, captures, threats. So probably, we have to attack the king because pawn will promote. So probably it's bishop a6, queen g2, queen takes h2. Of course, I do not calculate queen to those places because it will be taken. So most likely, this is one out of those moves. Okay, so those are checks, captures, threats, and now it's a time to calculate. So those are like 3 candidate moves. Let's start maybe with a queen to g2. Let's start with queen moves. After this move, king can escape, and king has got several different ways where it can escape. I think that white would prefer to go to a safe spot, which is probably king to d1. Okay, we can check. King then goes to this place. We cannot go to c4 because there is white's queen, and it looks like there are no checks. So probably this is not a good solution. Okay, in case queen captures h2, then probably let's assume that king will do the same. We can check. King goes here. Also, I do not see any check. So I have to say that queen's moves, they do not look very promising. So let's check, let's analyze bishop move. After bishop to a6, king can go into two places. Okay, in case king goes to f2, then we can take that pawn. King has to go to e1, and then queen goes to e2. This is a checkmate in front of the king. Okay, so so after bishop a6, king is forced to go to e3. Have we got any other checks there? We have to go here probably. King has got also only one square into the e4, and I think we have got check at b1. And you can see that king is attacked, and that king cannot go to d5, e5, f5, f4. King has to probably go back. King has to go back, I think. And now we can go queen to d3. King goes to king goes to df2. It's a pretty long variation, but we have to calculate everything. And then I think we can take that bishop. It's a free bishop with a check. King goes to g3. Then queen goes to e1. King goes to this place. Then we play bishop to f1. King has to go to g1 and bishop to h3. It's a pretty long variation, but it's pretty forced, if I'm not wrong. And it looks like that this is also a checkmate. So most likely the solution is bishop to a6, but you have to also remember about the step number 4, which was name it. And this is just so you are attacking with a queen and the bishop, the king, and I think that tactics, we can call it just checkmate in a couple of moves. Yes, you see, bishop goes to this place. Of course, we don't calculate queen to c4. King goes to e3. Here, king has to go there, queen b1. This is what we calculated. Here, everything is forced here. In tactics, we calculated this move. Okay, and now this move doesn't help because we have got a check. Same happens after this move, and this is the variation that I just calculated. So it's a checkmate in, if I'm not wrong, 7 moves. And this is the correct solution. Okay, so let's take a look at another example. Okay, you see this is the position. Black is on the move. Okay, so let's start from the step 1. Material, kings, pawns, and pieces. So materially, I think white is up 1 pawn. Yes, because black is down. Yes, white has got 3 pawns here. Black has got 2 pawns here. So it's a black is down 1 pawn. This is material. King safety. That king is a little bit exposed because there is no pawn at f7. But that king is in a fianchetto castling without bishop. So there is a big chance that light squares around that king, they are going to be very, very weak. Okay, now pawn structure, white has got 2 pass pawns, especially d pawn is pretty advanced. Black also has got some pass pawns. I mean, d1 pass pawn at the c, but it's not very important, I think. Okay, and now pieces activity. You can see that rook, queen, those pieces are quite active. Knight also is developed. White has got 2 pieces here. So I would say that black's pieces activity is slightly better. Okay, so we see next thing are tactical motifs and checks, captures, threats. So we see tactical motifs. One tactical motif that I see for white, I see that there is an X-ray. I mean, pawn at the g7 is pinned. So you can see that bishop, there is a potential threat that bishop captures h6. Although I see that another tactical motive is that pawn at f2 is also unprotected. And undefended piece is one of the most common tactical motives in chess. Another tactical motive are those weak squares. And also you need to know that when you want to attack the king, it's a good idea to focus on queen and the knight, because queen can coordinate really well with the knight. Okay, and checks, captures, threats. I do not see any check. I don't consider this as a serious move. Checks, captures. Okay, so there is a potential rook takes f4. We can consider this, and probably that's it. And threats. Let's analyze knight f6 and also knight e5. Okay, so and also those are like my 3 candidates moves. So we go into step number 3, which is calculation. If I capture here, in case queen captures, I think I have got a annoying skewer, which is rook f8. So probably this is not a good idea for white to capture with a queen, but probably white can just capture with the pawn and with the g-pawn, and I do not see how can I continue. Okay, if I start with knight to f6, queen is under attack. Queen will most likely go somewhere, and I don't see how can I create any serious threat. Okay, let's analyze knight to e5. In case bishop capture, bishop cannot capture because there is rook takes f2, check, king goes here and queen to g2, this is a checkmate. Okay, so knight goes to e5, so what else white can do? White has to move queen somewhere, and now we can go knight to f3, which is a check. Of course, in case queen captures f3, then we take it back with a queen. King most likely goes to g2, and then we have to do the discovered attack knight to e1. It's a double check at the same time. And in case king goes to g1 or h2, we have got a queen to g2, which is checkmate in front of the king. In case king goes to f1, then I believe we have got queen takes h1, also this is a checkmate. So knight e5 is the correct solution. But again, before we play it, we have to name it. So it's a, how can we name it? I think it's some kind of like a pin, because you can see that bishop is pinned here in this position. So we go like here, and later definitely after the check there is a discovered attack, double check connected with a checkmate. So this is the full name. Okay, so now we can play it. Queen goes somewhere, knight f3, king goes here, and now knight e1, discovered attack, and now checkmate. Yes, so this is the solution. I know that it may sound that this is like a very complicated method, but once you will do that a couple of times, okay, maybe a little bit more, maybe a couple hundred of times, you will train your brain, and it will be, you will do every step automatically, and you will be able to do that process much faster. Let's check the third example. Okay, so take a look. Material, you can see that black is up 1 pawn at the moment. King safety, both kings are pretty exposed. They are not in the castle. Pawn structure, I mean, white has got the pass pawn, black has got two pass pawns, but I do not think that this is that important. Pieces activity, there are only major pieces on the board. Pieces are the same. By the way, there is such a principle that in the positions with major pieces, king safety is the most important thing. So there is a big chance that it's gonna be attack on the king. Okay, so now let's go into the second step, which is tactical motives and checks, captures, threats. So exposed king is definitely the one. I do not see any undefended pieces. And basically this is the only tactical motive. So this is another sign that it has to be something with a king. Check, captures, threats. This is definitely one check, cannot go to f3. I cannot capture at the g5 because it's well defended by a queen. Also, e4 is protected. Okay, maybe another idea would be to go f6, but I do not see any other checks, captures, threats. Let's start with that f6 because I don't think it's a now we calculate. I don't think it's a great idea, but queen takes f6. Okay, and we have to check. King goes somewhere, and I do not see anything good for white in this position. But if we give a check, in case pawn goes to g4, then queen captures g4, king goes here, and queen g6. there is a checkmate in front of the king. So after this move, king has to go to the h6. And now we can maybe check at a6. You can see that king is attacked. Also, queen cannot stop it because that pawn is stopping e6 and f6 and d6. Those squares are not defended. So black cannot stop it like this. So king will go most likely to g7 and then queen goes to g6. That looks like a very promising attack. King goes to anywhere, h8 or f8, and I think rook captures g5 and black cannot stop the checkmate that is coming in the next move. And also I do not see any check that black can do, because even if king goes to h8, in case queen checks here, trying to exchange, rook h5 and black loses. So let's just take a look here. So it's also attack on the king. Here, king goes to g7, queen g6, king goes to f8, and then rook takes g5. I don't think black can stop it. Okay, even if queen goes to f7, there is probably queen to this place. And then we have got a pin. So it's not only attack on the king, but also this is a pin. And this is the correct solution. So I hope after that video you understand better how to solve puzzles correctly. If you enjoy it, please click thumb up. Please leave any comment or subscribe my channel if you want to see more things like this. Also, I want to remind you that if you want to get a free workbook about how to stop making blunders, go to my website stopmakingblunders.mattbobula.com and you can get it there completely for free. Thank you very much for watching and hope to see you next time.